so I think we're recording. I see numbers moving. So
I see numbers moving.
Thanks for joining us on a Feather Through Service, a V2VG podcast. I think I got it.
Yeah.
And we're on the road, obviously. We're headed to a client's house for client assistance, right, Chuck?
Yes, sir.
And we're trying something a little bit different by filming, obviously, in the car.
Yeah, and so we have an old client actually who I don't know all the circumstances of why he had to go through the procedures he did, but he had a portion of his leg amputated.
Yep.
And he's been in physical rehab, and I like to specify the physical part because when people say rehab, a lot of times we associate that with drugs and alcohol.
Right.
So physical rehab, and he's finally been released from the hospital, which he had an extended stay because of COVID and everything else.
We did send him some pizza.
We did a birthday package for him. That was nice. Yeah. And so he's being released, and he has some serious concerns about getting into his home.
Well, the steps it's winter time here in the northern New England. It's 5 degrees outside right now, and I don't know if you can see outside the vehicle. There's snow and ice, and there's some steps leading up to his house. And
the wind is powerful, and the wind chill is very low, high. However you would describe the wind chill to be.
Yes, to that is yes.
And it's not something, I guess, we've never done anything like this before, but we figured, because we worked quite hard yesterday with a lot of phone calls and emails, that we would take a day and do like a guy's trip and go help this gentleman out and, get away from the wife and kids and see where it takes us, right?
That's right. So we're trying to think about some things to talk about that are just random while we're on our journey to this client's home. And Chuck, you said if you could identify as an animal, what would you identify as? Now, the answer to that, I said baked potato, but whatever. Don't tell me what I can identify as nowadays.
Yeah, right.
But I think I would identify as a sloth. I think my wife would agree because I like to just but a sloth is fine, but I think more of a lion. And the reason a lion is because a lion, a male lion, right, lies around all day in the heat of the day and just uses his energy in fits and spurts.
Yes. Yeah.
And that's how I kind of go through my day. I just basically take it easy, chill out for as long as humanly possible, and then I use my energy, whether it's my mental energy or my physical energy, with my limitations when I have to, and not otherwise.
Yeah, and that's because you really don't have a whole lot of control of that. If you push yourself, best case scenario, you could have a seizure. Worst case scenario, you could die.
Well, there's that.
With your situation. So, but I think that's pretty accurate. For me, I think I would identify with Hip Hop Anonymous.
Hip Hop?
And the reason is I'm big, really don't like to do a whole lot unless I have to, but I am very territorial when it comes to my close friends and my family, as my children can attest to the many phone calls and texts I've sent out to the coaches and teachers.
Public. On public forum. Semi-public forum. Yeah.
So I think that would be, I think those are pretty good for both of us, though.
Yeah. And you like to come up out of the water and attack people in canoes.
Yes, I mean, why not, right? Now, if we were talking about our wives, I really think that Jen might be very much of the lioness. She's very much a go-getter. Mixed
with the rabbit, because she's always on the go and she never stops. She's like flittering and twittering around. Yep. She doesn't stop. She's definitely the Energizer Bunny, because I think if she stopped being active for V2VG or herself or the kids or whatever, she'd probably just keel over and die.
And that would be a domino effect to your entire family and V2VG, and you know, so we don't want that.
So, honey, when you watch this, don't die.
Yes,
there's that. Don't stop.
Right? Who is it? Van Halen that does that? Don't Stop Believing.
A Journey.
A Journey.
Yeah.
We'll just say don't stop. Right. So now Sarah, on the other hand, is interesting because she's very much of an introvert. So I can see her almost being like a burrowed snake or a bear, like very just
a bear in hibernation.
Like, well,
don't get in her way of her kids.
Yes, absolutely. But she stays active, but she does it on her terms.
Sure.
And you know, and she's come to accept who she is, and some of her what some might call faults, I guess, for being an introvert. But you know, if we were all the same, life would be boring, right?
I'm an extroverted introvert. I despise going out in the public and doing things, but we were talking about that earlier, about going out and being very often being the face of Veterans to Veterans Group, and how we would very often not always like to be the public face of V2VG and allow other people to, for lack of a better term, take the limelight, as it were, and it's 12 miles. So, and we'll get to that at some point.
The thing is, too, is of our 8 board members, we are clearly the least attractive and the least in shape. So,
round is a shape.
So, I mean, if I wanted to go to a website or Facebook page, I wouldn't want to be looking at us, every picture, every event. Personally,
what the fuck is wrong?
You know, man, these guys are all about themselves, aren't they? Like
freaking narcissists.
But yeah, you know, we do what needs to be done.
It's probably more along the lines of who has the free time, and most often, to get things done. And just because of the way the chips fell in this game of life, that, you know, frankly, it's us. Well, there's a gun shop, but we're in Vermont, so I guess it doesn't really help us right now.
No.
Anyway, yeah. So one of the reasons why you see Chuck and I so frequently is because, as the situation would have it, is we just happen to have the free time to do the bulk of the public work for Veterans to Veterans Group. So we do.
I mean, we're both declared unemployable through the VA system, as well as Social Security disability, not SSI. And so, I mean, we could have very easily, like most, really did just do nothing with our time, but we wanted to take the fact that we have this extra time and we have our personal experiences and try and create a mission and help others. And so here we are, you know?
Yep, that's the how Veterans to Veterans Group got established, is because we wanted to do something to give back to, well, firstly to our people, veterans, and then to the people who are very similar to us, which is first responders, and then to our supports, right? Our families.
Yes, oh, absolutely. And
because families are important. It's the bulwark that supports the people that we are and the people that are most like us.
And you know,
first responders.
We talk about our spouses and our children, and yes, we have our quote-unquote bitch fest when we complain about them, but overall, you and I have this, a lot of times we talk about how much our family continues to do for us to help us look better, help us be better in every shape and form. Yeah,
it's true. Family is important. Family and friends. You know, nobody's an island. As much as you want to be an island, and you know, you might say you're an island, and you know, like the Simon and Garfunkel song, "I'm a Rock," and it's nice to say, it's nice to think, but human beings are social creatures. We're social animals to a greater or lesser extent, and that's a fact of nature. You can't get away from that. Now, as an introvert, I know what it's like to need alone time to recharge. However, even with having alone time, I still need to have access to my family and friends to have that, what would you call that, a social outlet.
Yeah,
you know?
Even being an introvert, and I've noticed this with you, is that even though you say that you're an asshole, you're very kind to the people you care about, your friends, and sometimes you have friends that come over and are not able to take the hint, and you will kind of cater to them. So, but someone like me or Jen will be like, listen, he needs to rest, get the hell out. So
I'm an entertainer.
It's one of those things where it's important to have family and friends to help you in that aspect as well.
You have your back.
You know?
Yeah, I don't really like being rude if I can avoid it. Even if it's not really rude, you know, for help, you know, self-help, self-care. I just maybe it's the way I was raised. I'm sort of an old soul that way. You know, it just goes against my grain to tell someone to get the fuck out. There have been occasions when I've said I can't take it anymore. I need to rest or whatever. But you know, I think people are like that. Most people would well, some people pick up on social cues, right? Like,
most
okay,
will, yeah.
You know, I've overstayed my welcome, or this person's not up to company, or whatever, and so on and so forth. But some people, for whatever reason, don't, and that's when you need family and friends to say, hey, you know, Eric or whoever need to rest, or hey, we have to, if that's the case, we need to go out in like an hour, so you do need to rest before we go.
Yeah, you know, whatever.
Because I do need to build up my energy.
And the thing is, too, is even living next door, I mean, we visit, well, mostly it's me visiting you, especially this time of year. I don't want you to fall and get hurt with the ice, but I always look for two vehicles, and if they're there, I try not to go over and bother you, because I know you're getting an earful from whoever they are, and they want your love and attention. One, you've adapted to where when she comes over and you're really hurting, you just go lay down and she entertains herself with your wife and the kids and things like that, which is good for both, because you're comfortable enough to go take care of yourself, and she can still be part of her family and visit with you guys and stuff. So the other one, he struggles a lot, and he will talk about everything attached to everything until he has to go or you make him go. So if I see those two vehicles, I try not to come over unless I've seen a vehicle there for a while, and then I formulate a lie in my head and be like, listen, we have work to do, and you guys got to leave because we can't talk about clients.
Well, we actually do have work to do. And
there is that, yeah.
that's the case. You know, it depends on how busy we are, for sure. But yeah, it's all it all depends. And, you know, the season of New England depends on a lot of things too. Like when we're in the winter, we're all stuck indoors, so it's also difficult because we can't get fresh air and, you know, a nice breeze. It's sort of claustrophobic in the house.
Yeah. So
I don't know where, you know, our different viewers are in different states, different regions. They might have, you know, they can meet with family and friends outside, and it's a little bit more, you have a little bit more breathing room.
Yes, but, like a former board member who said she loved us, who has taken her husband and moved to Florida. Won't name anybody, Lori.
Yeah, Lori.
But, you know, completely abandoned us up here, and then taking all these pictures of beautiful sun shining and grass and stuff.
Today was a beautiful yellow flower.
So, you know.
Thanks.
But
I like yellow.
We love and miss you. We're happy that you guys are in that, you know, the fun part of your lives. You guys get to enjoy being grandparents and those type of things. You deserve it.
So what are you saying about being grandparents?
I think it's a sure sign. It's up there with losing your hearing as being a sign of getting old. So, and I mean, you're old. We talk about it frequently, but I mean, in a certain amount of months, you might have that second sign of knowing you're old.
So I have some gray hair. There's that. And recently, my oldest son and his wife said they're having a baby. They're expecting a baby.
They were married before, so it's not one of those quote-unquote shotgun weddings. Yes. They were married prior to, and almost a year ago, right?
Yeah, they were married for about a year.
Yeah, so, but it's exciting because, you know, it's another generation of people. And this is happening in such a weird time for your son, Matthew.
Yeah.
Because he's getting ready to go to basic training or whatever you call it for the Air Force.
Yeah, the BMT is what the Air Force calls it, basic military training. He's actually leaving. Today is March, what, 2nd?
Second, yep.
So he's leaving
next Monday.
Home on the 8th, and he's leaving for Lackland Air Force Base from MEPS in Maine on the 9th.
That's...
So it was... so he didn't know when he was leaving until they found out that his wife was pregnant, and then he called his recruiter and said, hey, we need to get, shit or get off the pot with this because, I need to get in the Air Force. I need to get, the insurance and, all the stuff that's involved with being enlisted. And then all of a sudden, magically, he got a date and his job was locked in and he's ready to go.
Yeah.
So now they're doubly excited. They're excited, obviously, because of their child, a grandchild, which is still awkward to say and think.
Right? I mean...
And they're excited about going into the military. So there's a lot going on for them right now.
What is it you think that you're going to want to be called from your grandchild? Do you want to be called Grandpa or
I've had a lot of people ask that.
I think that's a good question for grandparents to answer.
Well, so for... what would you call it? Culturally, I'm mostly Portuguese, so it would be Vavu or Vu, but I don't think I want to be called that. I think Grand Pumba or the Grandest of Pumbpas would be the
I've never heard that one before.
No, Grandpa's fine, whatever.
Pop.
Not Pop. I think Grandpa's good, whatever.
Or you could just go with Eric. Be like, yo, Eric, what's up?
I'm not big on the first name thing. I think Grandpa is where I want to.
That might get you your first slap there, grandchild. Yeah, I don't think I would do so well with my children or grandchildren when it comes to that time to call me by my first name either.
Hey, Chuck.
Yeah, that depending on how old and crippled I am, I might throw something. Or if you're within an arm's length reach, just like being in boot camp, be prepared to be touched.
I'm gonna be telling grab you.
But I think this is all good. It's good
and Jen's gonna be a meme. I mean, that goes without saying. Jen's French Canadian, and right away she's like, "I'm gonna be a meme," and she was super excited. And
this is exciting on a few levels. One, because your personal family is growing to another generation.
Yep.
Along with your son being another generation to join the military. But
yep.
Our family is our families together creating a friendship family is growing, and Sarah's all about babies, and she's excited to go shopping when she knows the sex.
Yeah.
If they decide to be politically incorrect and find that out or whatever.
I think they're going to find out the sex of the baby.
But even veterans to veterans group, how great is it going to be to have a little baby around for our clients to come see and when we do events and stuff. I think
it'll be fun.
It's going to be, it's a new chapter, right?
It's definitely a new chapter, and it's, when I found out, I didn't automatically say, oh man, I feel old. I said, you know what? This is nice. I'm already 40. I'll be 41 in a couple of weeks. This is all right.
What?
Shit, I had Matthew, as a matter of fact, before I was even 20. So to me, Matthew took
going to be 22, right?
He's going to be 22 in May.
So, and your birthday is almost a week after when he's going to training.
Yeah, I was born on St. Patrick's Day.
So, yeah.
So, to me, I figured it was about, and that's what Matthew said. He said he and Felicity were like, well, we need to get things started already. I'm like, well, I guess so. So it was planned.
Hey, and honestly and wholeheartedly, and I said this before during the road trip, I have seen some very strong growth in Felicity going from a teenager to becoming a very young woman of sorts, and it's great to see her embrace the fact that she's going to be a mom, because not all the young ladies her age would be so willing to embrace that.
No, like I said, I infer from Matthew's statement, his comment about that this was a planned pregnancy, and I like the fact that they're excited about it. Matter of fact, this morning before you came over, probably about 10 minutes before you came over, she brought up a mobile that her and Jen had kind of developed an idea about that she had made, so she painted these little
That's so awesome.
whales and dolphins and things. So it's kind of cool. So she's getting excited about the prospects of having her child born and things like that. So it's nice. It's neat, and it makes me remember what it was like when Jen was pregnant and we were excited about getting ready to deliver the baby and things like that. But just like I told Matthew and Felicity, that right now it's kind of numb, it's kind of in the disbelief stage, but when they feel the baby, when they see the baby, hear the heartbeat,
do that first ultrasound and you hear the heart, forget about it.
It's going to become more real as it becomes more apparent outward that this baby is getting ready to come out into the world.
So I guess the last thing I want to touch on, and we'll answer this maybe on one of the next show videos or episodes, is will Matthew and Felicity be trying to do some sort of gender reveal? So we'll leave you with that.
That's a good question.
Until the next time, hopefully we'll have some sort of answer.